Hi, I'm Victoria Holmes, and you're watching the East Daily Download.
This is the East Daily Download. This is the East Daily Download. This is the East Daily Download. That's right. This is the East Daily Download.
So let's get started.
Hello and welcome to the East Daily Download. My name is Mark. I will be your tour guide on this adventure across the East. Today we are coming to you from Studio E, but it's a little different because I am literally the only one here. And the reason for that is there was a COVID concern, and out of an abundance of caution, we postponed and moved everything that we were originally going to do to another date and time. Instead, today what we're going to bring you is a very special East Daily Download. And we're going to be focusing on our friend Anissa, who works on the show, and her East Daily Download original stories. She does a great job. She's actually been an original member of the East Daily Download, going back to before we even launched the show, like in May of 2019. So 2 years she's been a part of this and affiliated and working on it and trying to bring you great local stories. So what we're going to do is take a look at some of her best stories that she's done today. And we're going to start out with the Joy Soup Kitchen. Let's take a look.
Pitt Street is partnering up with Joy Soup Kitchen for their quarterly donation night. So for the first 4 months of the year, some of the proceeds that Pitt Street makes on Friday nights, the third Friday of each month, will go towards Joy Soup Kitchen.
My name is Tom Quigley, and I started volunteering at the Soup Kitchen 2.5 years ago. And last January, I got on the board of directors, and I took over the kitchen, the chair of the kitchen committee. And this past January, I took over as chairman of the whole board of Joy Incorporated.
I'm BRIANNA Long. I'm the general manager here at Pitt Street Brewing Company. Being involved in the community is important to us because we wouldn't be us without our guests. We wouldn't be us without people coming through the door. So we want to make sure that we give back to that community. We find the areas that are most important to us.
Now, Pitt Street, this isn't the first time they helped. I think it was November, they did a canned good drive. And when I spoke with them, I says, it's not just canned goods. Last year, I spent $21,000 on takeout trays, the packaged silverware, and soup cups, and bottled water. And I told people, I have lots of green beans and corn. Can you go get me a pack of takeout trays? You know, a box of spoons so I can give them for the soup. And Pitt Street did a great fundraiser thing for me.
So the third Friday of every month, starting in this year, we are doing a donation night. So from 5 o'clock to 8 p.m., we do 15% of sales. And each quarter is a new different community partner. So the first quarter is the Joy Soup Kitchen. For
a tavern, a brewing place, to give us a portion of a Friday night profit, that's a big thing.
We just think the work they do in the community is really important. We wanted to be able to help them do whatever they need to do, what their needs are. So for the first quarter, January, February, March, our Pitt Street donation nights will be going towards them.
I call it moving mountains. Nobody can push it by themselves. You get enough people together, you can move a mountain. Somebody made me a shirt that said Wicked Pissa Soup Maker. And that's how we talk in Boston. Things are wicked pissa. And down here, everybody thinks piss is a bad word. It means awesome. And then somebody said, I want one of those shirts. I said, you got to earn the shirt. And the competition was bond. So the whole month of January and February, I have a sheets manager, a stay-at-home mom, a lawyer. They've all come in here trying to make soup to impress me and win a t-shirt, $300 and a name on a plaque. But for 30 days now, I haven't had to pay for soup. And the soup that we've had, today we're doing a butternut squash cream soup. I mean, the soup's coming out of here, they're wicked pizza. And this is something I want to do every year. And you know what? The whole winter, if you guys have winter here, right? You know, you're from Chicago. They don't have winter here. They're funding my winter soup with this competition.
Wow. So how can people get involved in the competition?
Well, all the dates are taken.
Oh, okay.
I posted it on social media and boom. and they have to cook soup enough to serve 120 people a day. They have to buy the ingredients. They have to come here and make it fresh here.
That's so fun.
And that's what we're doing. And it filled up, 30 spots filled like that. So I call it moving mountains. Nobody can push it by themselves. You get enough people together, you can move a mountain.
Hey, we're back here on the East Daily Download. Hope your day is off to a great start so far. Quick reminder, WNCT.com is our website. There is a tab that says download. You can click on that and watch this or any episode of the show that you choose. And many of our stories as well. And that's what we're talking about today, our original stories. Anissa puts those together. She really takes a lot of time to think things through and to come up with creative ways to tell a story. Let's go back to a year ago or so, once kind of COVID really was fully underway and we were on lockdown. It was a challenge to us at the show to figure out how to give you the best show, how to tell an interesting story every day. But Anissa, with her original stories, came up with really interesting, unique takes on things to continue to bring you information, whether it was a bird watching story or one of our favorites about how to make your own pizza at home. She got this kit, did this whole thing. I think it turned out pretty well. Let's take a look at her story from the Mellow Mushroom. It was about this time last year. Let's take a look.
Places like the Mellow Mushroom are getting creative with how you can experience their menus from home while keeping the entire family entertained.
Just come up with stuff to keep all of the people that would normally come in and eat with us engaged, and coming up with new ideas so that they can stay entertained while they're all at home.
Since you can't dine in at the Mellow Mushroom, their pizza kits are a fun and easy way to get kids involved with dinner time.
Now I can make pizza for the family and stuff, do a little dinner, surprise everyone, be like, I made this.
After going over a few things with Scott, Stella and Rex are pizza making pros. And it's like that with the at-home pizza kits as well. You have detailed instructions to help you make a Mellow Mushroom approved pie.
We've done as much as we can to kind of make it more fun for people that are having to stay at home, especially with their kids.
I like putting on the pepperonis and the sausage.
I like doing the dough. I like spreading out the dough.
It's time to check in back home, and I'm on Rex and Stella's favorite part of the process, stretching the pizza dough and adding all my favorite toppings. Instead of being salt, that'll be cheese bay. Now it's time to put the pizzas in the oven.
Well, I hope it tastes good.
For the time being, you can only order takeout at the Mellow Mushroom, but all of your favorite creations can be ordered as pizza to-go kits.
It was pretty good. Now I can make a pizza at home.
Yeah, it was fun.
And just like that, it's pizza time. Don't forget to tag the Mellow Mushroom in all of your at-home creations. Go to WNCT.com and click on the Download tab for more at-home kits the Mellow Mushroom's adding to the menu. With the East Daily Download, I'm Anissa Sakile.
The WNCT9 mobile app just got a sweet makeover. The all-new look gets you the content you want faster than ever before. From news to weather to video and special features, it's all at your fingertips. Plus, customize the alerts you want for breaking news that matters to you. Just update your existing WNCT9 in your side app to get the latest version, or download the app here.
COVID-19 has impacted restaurants nationally. Here in Eastern North Carolina, the farmer and the DAIL are finding new ways to interact with their customers.
You know, this environment today, we really have to adapt to what we can do and where business is needed. So we knew with people staying in, just coming a little closer to them would be helpful.
Sometimes it's not convenient for me to drive to Snow Hill, and when I found out they were coming to Greenville to deliver the biscuit bombs, I decided I wanted some for me and for my extended family as well.
With the state of North Carolina under stay-at-home order, Farmer and the DAIL started taking online orders with your kids in mind. It started with cookie decorating kits.
Also, I know we're trying to keep people home as much as possible and to help improve, the social distancing. So, parking lot lines are really great social distancing markers. And we actually, customers have been self-distancing, by lining up.
When it comes to their menu, everything looks delicious. but there was one treat everyone had to try.
So we got some of the bacon and cheese biscuit bombs.
I don't think we had an order that didn't get an order of frozen biscuit bombs. So that's our homemade biscuit dough that we flatten out and we put freshly grated cheddar, bacon, or sausage in it, and they can bake them at home.
When I'm going to be staying at home for the next few weeks, I thought it would be nice because they're frozen. You can heat them up when you want to.
And when it comes to sweets, they say the homemade jacks are just like Grandma used to make.
So apple, peach, and blueberry, they're made from scratch and fried, so they can't be bad.
If you weren't at the first Greenville delivery, don't worry, you haven't missed your chance.
Farmer in the Dale has delivery options in Wilson, Goldsboro, and Greenville. You can place your orders on their website.
So I've heard so many good things about Farmer in the Dale, and I've never had it before, so I was like, this is a perfect opportunity to try it.
In Greenville or other cities think that we're so far away, so it was nice that we were able to come their way and give them treats that they may not have gotten otherwise.
To get connected to Farmer in the Dale, go to WNCT.com and click on the Download tab. In Greenville, I'm Anissa Sakile with the East Daily Download.
Hey, welcome back to the East Daily Download. Hope your day's off to a great start so far. Got a lot of shows still to get to. You know, I talk a lot about the WNCT mobile app like I've already done in this show, but there's another great resource for you specifically for your local weather. That's the Storm Team 9 mobile app, also free at Google Play and the App Store. The reason I'm bringing this up is our next story we're going to kind of dive into that Anissa did for our East Daily Download Originals was she sat down with Alex Wasylenko. Many of you will know Alex as the meteorologist on 9 on Your Side Morning Edition. He and Julianne Dell bring you that show 4:30 to 7 a.m. Monday through Friday. Well, she specifically sat down with him to talk about flooding and severe weather here in eastern North Carolina. It's a great interview. It's a really interesting take from a really experienced meteorologist about preparation and flood planning and what you need to know. So let's take a look at that.
All the rain having to push towards the coast just enhances that flooding threat. So even as the waters retreat a little bit, in the days to come that may be dry, you could still see some additional rises because all that water has to make its way to the coast.
Wow, and that's the thing that I think most people don't realize because the rain might not seem that extreme, but then days later, that's when the flooding happens.
That's
or
right.
even for Hurricane Dorian, one of the hurricanes that I experienced here, my first hurricane, there was not that much flooding on the Tar River. So it's like you can't go off of really the type of storm and think that that's going to mean something in terms of the flooding.
Yeah, that's so important to note too, I think, because every system is different. Every hurricane is different. Every tropical storm is different. And some produce major flooding and some do not. And Dorian did not. It did produce flooding, yes, but more of a minor fashion as opposed to moderate or major flood stage along that is many waterways. One important thing to note too with Hurricane Dorian is the flooding along the waterways not as evident, but the storm surge in Ocracoke Island. So that was just devastating, and it happened in an instant, but it still falls under that category of flooding. Storm surge is just water rising at a rapid clip and then surging onto land. And sometimes in Ocracoke's case during Hurricane Dorian, the water was 7-8 feet above normal ground level. So when that comes in that quick, you're talking about a major flooding situation and sometimes thousands or millions of dollars worth of damage.
And I know there was different resources to aid them during that rough time.
Yeah.
Now bringing it back to Greenville and the town common, something else I noticed, that walkway there, I was really not expecting that to get so high.
Yeah.
Could you talk maybe about some facts on how high during this last time did that flooding get?
Yeah, it's a really good question because we don't usually see the Tar River reaching major flood stage at all, let alone during our dry season, winter. So it has reached major flood stage twice already, Anissa, since November. That's incredible. I've only been here for 2 years, but they have data at the National Weather Service sourcing how high the river has been in the past, and we've cracked the top 5 river levels just since November. 2 of them have made the top 5 list since November. The flooding events seem to be getting more and more extreme as the years wear on, and that's obviously not a good thing, but it's a signal for us to to prepare a little bit better and to watch that forecast a bit more closely.
Yes, I think that's really important. And then just some ways to wrap it up here that we can prepare for that type of flooding, or just to steer clear. Is that the best way?
Yeah, I would say, and literally steer clear. You're going to want to turn away from those waters that are flooded, the roadways that are flooded. Always keep a safety or a first aid kit in your car as well, in case you do get stranded on those roadways. Heck, even living amongst all the waterways in the basins here in eastern North Carolina, a life jacket in your car, maybe not a bad idea. I know it sounds kind of maybe absurd, but each area of the country is different, and flooding and rain, that's a big impact here in eastern North Carolina when it does happen. So you always want to be prepared no matter what.
Yes, and I know something, my parents, when they visited, they actually experienced one of the hurricanes.
Oh boy.
And so it wasn't too intense where I was, but they were making sure that we have a plan. So now, since I do live so close to the river, when flooding happens or any type of storm, we have a hotel that we know is backup. So maybe just, if you need to evacuate, having that evacuation plan sooner rather than later, I'm sure would be helpful.
That's right, and having a checklist to go through, because we get hurricanes and tropical systems here and there, but they're not all that frequent here in eastern North Carolina. They're becoming more frequent, which is a good sign for us to, again, prepare sooner rather than later. And having a checklist to go through and a moment's notice to make sure that you have everything and stuff that maybe you don't have, so you can go out to the store and get it. You got to have that checklist ready to go at a moment's notice.
All right, well, I'm going to be getting it together, and I'll be prepared. Thanks to you, Alex, and our viewers will, for any other flooding or next storms that we have. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
When the clock hits 11, sit down with 9 on Your Side News to end your day.
We'll walk you through the stories that matter to you with clarity and context. Plus, Storm Team 9 always forecasting to make sure you're prepared for tomorrow.
Join us weeknights on 9 on Your Side.
We'll be right back with more local stories on the East Daily Download.
I'm Anissa Sakile with the East Daily Download. Right now, you guys are joining me on a walk outside of my apartment complex. So now that North Carolina is under stay-at-home order, people are going stir crazy. It's a perfect time to get out and try something new. I've never, officially tried bird watching before outside of me just sitting there and looking and noticing that I don't know what type of bird it is. So I want to try to identify them now. So I went to Walmart, got some binoculars, and I'm out for a walk.
We're all about bringing birding to people wherever they are, because birds are pretty much everywhere in the state. It's hard to go anywhere or even spend a day without seeing a bird.
Or hearing them, especially.
Yeah. Scott Anderson is a bird biologist for the North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission. He says with over 470 species of birds living in North Carolina at some point through the year, not to be discouraged if you can't identify too many birds on your first few tries.
So I really recommend an app called MERLIN Bird ID. It's a free app.
The app asks about 5 questions to help you out, like what's the size of the bird, where you are, and what time of year it is.
And also even play the song of that bird if the bird is nearby. So
on my first walk, I wasn't really having luck finding birds, so Scott suggested a change of scenery.
It's just to sit and be still and quiet. You could go out in the middle of a park somewhere or even in your backyard. If you sit still for 5 or 10 minutes, you might see a lot more birds just hanging around.
After making a few adjustments and getting used to the binoculars, I was able to identify 3 species of birds. But when you're just getting started with something, it's normal to have a few questions.
Not now, because you can't connect with too many people if you want to go bird watching together, but Facebook groups and things like that, could you talk about how people could get involved with that?
Absolutely. There are lots of Facebook groups. There's a couple in North Carolina.
So even though we're under stay-at-home order and birding might be a new hobby for you, there's an entire online community that you can reach out to for help.
We always like to emphasize it, not to get hung up on always getting the species right or identifying a particular bird. So it's really, there is no wrong way to do it.
For more information on bird watching, go to WNCT.com and click on the download tab. And don't forget, the easiest way to get started is just to step outside of your apartment and enjoy nature. I'm Anissa Sakile with the East Daily Download.
Well, that's going to do it for this episode of the East Daily Download. Thank you for joining us on a bit of an unusual show. We did this a little differently. Again, I'm the only one here. Normally there's a group of individuals in the studio. But hey, over the last year, we've done a lot of shows from home. We've done what we needed to do to get through COVID, like many of you at home. So we're all in this together. We're getting through it together every day. Okay, we've got another show tomorrow. I actually have to go to Farmville for something. So you know what? I might just take you along for the drive. What do you say we do that? Get out of the building, get a little different scenery. It might just be the road, but hey, it's different. That's what counts right now, right? We're trying different things, we're experimenting, it's gonna be fun. Okay, speaking of fun, you have yourself a great day. I will see you back here tomorrow for the next edition of the East Daily Download. And you know what? I'm hungry, I'm gonna go have lunch. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you then.
Friday on the East Daily Download, we'll have a Fashion Friday coming your way. Plus, we'll have an interview and performances with musician Holden Dixon. That's Friday here on the East Daily Download on Eastern North Carolina CW.